Hello, thank you so much for joining me again today. We're going to ease ourselves gently into this class to celebrate the start of a new year. So to start with, we're just going to bring ourselves to the front of the chair, making sure you've got plenty of bottom on the chair, but you're not going to fall off it. And then align your knees in front of your hips. And when I say your hips, I mean the hip bones as opposed to the outside of your hips. So it's probably a bit narrower than you're expecting. And then align the heels up underneath your knees. And that stops any twisting of your joints. Okay, so we're sat here. We've got our feet solidly on the floor. Give them a little wriggle. That's it. Okay, so give yourselves a wiggle. And we're going to start gently with our pelvis. So we're going to tilt the pelvis towards your nose and then the pelvis down towards your toes. So think about your pubic bone, the bone at the front, so tilting upwards and then tilting downwards, and see if you can keep your chest lifted as you do this. That's it, so it's the bottom part of your pelvis that's moving. So it's all gentle. And while you're here, just double check that you're still breathing. And think about the feeling of tucking your bum slightly under and then arching away. And then bring your body somewhere in the middle. So your pelvis will have been tilting this way and this way. And I want you to find your middle point where you can then feel your sit bones on the chair. And I'd like you to think about those sit bones and see if you can get them evenly weighted from side to side. So have a little shuffle from side to side. And then see if you can find them evenly distributed, the weight evenly distributed on the chair. And that'll stop any misalignments. That's it. And then bring your spine nice and tall. So you're sitting tall, you're lengthening your spine, but you're not arching your back. And then put your hands on your thighs and push down to kind of give your vertebrae some space, to imagine that you're lifting tall in your spine. That's it, and you can shut your eyes to do this so you can feel it even more. So you're lifting up through your spine, and then keep that lift as you relax your arms. And then we're going to circle the shoulders, but I'd like you to keep it really small to start with. So we're going to circle forward, up, back and down. And while you're doing this, you're still thinking tall thoughts. So smooth, gentle circles, still breathing. That's it. Good, and allow the circles to get slightly bigger, but not to your maximum. And try not to worry about any crunches or creaks or cracks. It's very normal. Especially when it's cold, especially if you haven't been moving over Christmas. That's it, and then we're going to relax the shoulders. That's it. So I don't want you to force them away from your ears, just let them relax, and you can put your hands back on your lap if it's comfortable for you to do so. And we're going to move into some gentle mobilizing of the neck. So we're going to look up towards one side, and notice I'm still keeping the back of my neck nice and long, so try and keep your neck long without you hanging your head backwards. Breathing in here. And exhale slowly, semicircle your head down towards your chest, and then come back up, and then breathe in up here again. And exhale. So this is a great way to slow down your breathing. And really imagine filling up your rib cage as you breathe in. And exhale slowly. Breathing deeply in at the top and exhale. And once again you may get some crunching, a bit of snap, crackle and pop. Don't worry about it, you can acknowledge it without any judgment. We're trying to keep the range of movement smaller than probably your maximum. And then bring your head back towards me again. Okay, so at this point you might be feeling like you've been sat still for too long. So give yourselves a little wriggle, it's always nice to just keep moving. And then we're going to wake up the core muscles, okay? So I don't know what you've been up to over Christmas. You may have eaten loads and you might have expanded your tummy a bit. So we want to wake these muscles up in a gentle way. And to do that, we're going to use some breathing techniques. But I want you to be aware that if you're not used to breathing to your maximum capacity, sometimes you might get a bit of a whoosh of oxygen to your brain. And if that's the case, you may feel a bit dizzy. So if you're not used to trying these breathing techniques, do feel free to sit back and take a moment to rest at any point. And anyone can do this at any point, okay? So use the back of your chair to have a anti-Pilates slump if you need it. Okay, so I'd like you to bring your hands towards the bottom of your rib cage. And you may even want to bring the fingertips to slightly touch. That's it. And then I'd like you to take a deep breath in and feel the ribs expand into the hands, and then exhale slowly. And try to do this with your mouth closed, so you're breathing in and out through your nose, though if it's uncomfortable for you to do so, do feel free to use your mouth at any point. So we're breathing deeply into the hands, feeling the rib cage expand underneath the hands. And exhale. And here you're imagining that the lungs are filling up with oxygen as you breathe in. And then slowly compressing, deflating as you breathe out. And imagine the lungs and the ribcage pushing the hands outwards. And you may feel the fingertips slightly separate. But as always, if you don't, there's no judgment. Just take note and see if you can aim for it in future. Okay, so now hopefully you've slowed down, you've relaxed your nervous system a bit. We're going to go to our hands just underneath the belly button, okay? So rest them there and breathe again. This time you're going to breathe deep into the rib cage and allow the breath to move into the tummy as well. And exhale. Now each time you exhale, I'd like you to breathe out and then draw the belly button in. So breathing in, feel all the muscles, everything expand. And then breathe out and pull that belly button in just slightly. Nothing needs to be big. Breathing in. And as you pull the belly button towards you, I want you to feel the muscles move into the centre of your body. They're all coming in towards the centre. Breathing in. Breathing out. That's it. And again. There we go. And then once again, have a wiggle or a slump, anything that feels good to you, okay? Right, do remember that you can take breaks, you can pause this video and come back to it at a later date. And you can also take water whenever you need to. So it's really important to keep yourself hydrated and listen to your body as much as you need to. So we have done some movement so far, and we've done some good activation of the core muscles just to wake them up a little bit. Okay, so now we're going to work a little bit on proprioception, and we're going to work our way from the bottom all the way back up. So we're going to start with the feet. So once again, think about your posture. So make sure you've got plenty of bum on chair, so you're not going to fall off. Okay, and then you're sitting tall, you're lifting your spine really tall, so imagine some string pulling you upwards. And then we're going to send messages all the way down to the feet that we want them to work. So my feet are there, but everything that I do with my toes, I'm going to do with my hands too, so you can see better. So I'll keep my hands here. So to start with, give your toes a little wiggle. So little scrunches. That's it, opening them up, wiggling them against the floor. And it's sometimes easier to do this barefoot because you'll get much better signals coming up to your brain. And then think about your toes, and without expecting much movement at all, I'd like you to think about the little toe and press the little one down and then lift it up. And it's likely you'll probably be lifting all of your feet up as you lift and lower that little toe. And in time, this is actually possible to be able to separate your toes and move them independently of each other. So you're lifting and lowering those little toes. And then let's go to the next one along, even harder. That's it. This is where we'll be doing this as we try to move those toes. And then the next one. That's it. And the next one along. Oh, my big toe's coming up with it too now. And then let's go to the big toes, much easier. That's it. So by concentrating so hard on those toes, you'll be creating those neural pathways and strengthening them. Okay, now let's give our feet a scrunch. So scrunch them up and then open them up and try to spread the toes and then lower the feet down to the floor. So you're going to scrunch them up and then lift and then gently place them down, still feeling like they're separated. Scrunching and lift and then lower. And this time, scrunch them and then lift. And see if you can feel or notice that the arches of your feet are lifted. So your ball of your foot is down on the floor, your heels are down on the floor, but the gap in the middle is lifted because you're lifting the muscles by lifting up your toes. Now try and keep that sense of lifting in your arches as you lower those toes down. So let's do it again. Scrunch and then lift. Feel that arch lifting. And then keep that lift as you lower down. And then scrunch and lift. And keep that lift as you lower down the toes. Okay. Now try and keep that sense of lifting because it's a really great way to strengthen your feet. As we then move into heel raises, so lifting one heel up, keeping the toes and the balls of your feet on the floor, and then lowering down. And then the other. Now when you're concentrating so much on the bottom end of your body, the top might have slumped, so make sure you're sitting tall. You've used that string to once again pull you up as you're lifting the ankle and lowering. And being mindful that you're not wobbling the ankle or sickling it outwards, that they're coming up nice and straight and strong as you lift and lower. That's it, and hopefully you can feel your calf muscles warming up a little bit. That's it. And then we're going to go the opposite way, so we're going to lift the balls of your feet up. That's it. And then hopefully you'll feel the front of your shins warming up nicely. So we're just gently activating each of the muscles nice and gently today. Double check you're still breathing. Okay, now let's make our brains work a bit harder. Lift the heel of one foot and the balls of your feet on the other, and then swap. That's it. And you're still sitting tall, so that you're keeping the back of your neck nice and long. This might be where you feel your feet moving away from you slightly, just slightly creeping forward. In a minute we will reset. Okay, now if you need a wiggle, feel free to have a little shuffle and a wiggle. That's it. Okay, so realign yourself, so double checking that your knees are in front of your hips, that your belly button could be slightly lifted to support you sitting up. If you need to at this point, do feel free to sit back in your chair and take a break. Okay, so now we're going to work on the hamstrings, waking them up. So I'd like you to push one foot down and imagine you're drawing it back, but you're not. The foot's going to stay really still and you're going to activate those muscles without any movement at all. It's the sensation of pressing down and drawing back but not moving. And then return and go with the other leg. So pressing down and drawing back. That's it. Feel the warmth coming up here. Feel a slight tensing. You can even use your hands. That's it. And then return. So keep gently pressing and draw back. That's it. Pressing down and drawing back. Well done. This is a great hamstring wake up. Let's do one more in each side. Press down and draw back. Well done. And then release. Okay, so then we're going to do the same but the opposite direction. So this time we're going to push down and push forward. Ooh, it slipped then. And then release. So put your hands on your thighs and you might notice a slight tensing of the muscles underneath your hands. So a little bit of quad action going on. And as always, we don't do this to our 100%, especially today. We're just going gentle and lightly. Well done. And if you'd like to go a little bit further, you could lengthen the leg and now you'll really feel those quads working, and then return. So you're still sitting tall as you lengthen and return. This is where once again you may be hearing some very pleasant noises going on in your knees, and just notice them without judgment, without worry. That's it. It's very normal for our bodies to make noises. So one more in each side. There we go. And then if you fancy taking a break, feel free. Sometimes it helps to just rub out those muscles as well. Often when we're sitting tall and we're not used to sitting without support of the back of a chair, you'll get quite tight here. So we tend to give these areas a bit of a rub. But we're going to actively wake them up as well. So sitting tall once again, we're going to lift and then lower. So this works a bit higher up in the legs. And if you'd like to pull your belly button back, you could breathe out as you do this, breathing in, breathing out. That's it. And then you can work even into your tummy as you lift the leg. Okay, and once again, you might want to have a break, give these a bit of a rub, give your tummy a rub. Okay, now we're going to move to the buttocks. So we're going to do one bum cheek at a time, and it's really actually quite hard to isolate the movements and contract one glute muscle at a time, but it's really good for you to be able to do so. So in time, if you're not feeling it yet, you could put your hands here to give you a bit more feedback, and imagine you're kind of squeezing against that hand on one side, and then return, and then go the other side, and return. Now be aware, you could really easily just rock from side to side, and your bum muscles don't need to squeeze that hard to do that. But I'd like you to squeeze, but still think tall thoughts. So you're squeezing, but you're still going upwards. That's it. Try not to hold your breath while you're doing this. Often when we're sending our attention from our brain down to other areas, it's really easy to forget to breathe. So one at a time. That's it. Hopefully feeling the muscles gently contract against your fingers. And then we're going to squeeze both. So squeeze both. You may notice you come a bit taller in your chair. So, and then gently relax and imagine those bum cheeks melting over your fingers. Okay, so squeezing both. And relax them gently. And again, squeezing both. And relaxing them really gently. Let's do it one more time. Squeeze. And relax. Okay, and once again, you might be feeling all sorts of other muscles may have come in, so if you need to rest at any point, feel free. We're going to move into the back now. So I'll go sideways. We're going to do something called cat and cow. So you don't need to go sideways, by the way, this is just so I can demonstrate so you can see what's happening in my back. We're going to keep our hands on our thighs and then arch the back slightly. So we're going to round it. That's it. And then we're going to move into a cow. So we're going to bring everything forward and arch this way. Notice I'm still keeping the back of my head long. I'm not hanging my head backwards because I don't want to compress my neck. And you could breathe out here. You could breathe in here. And you could even try changing the breathing, so breathing out here and breathing in here. Whatever you're doing, it really doesn't matter when you're breathing as long as you're still breathing. Okay. And then once again, bring your back somewhere in the middle. And we're going to work up a little bit more. So we're going to work up into the arms, elbows and shoulders. So bring the elbows in, tuck them into your sides and then bring them very slightly forward. Okay, so a teeny tiny bit forward. So the elbow isn't directly underneath the shoulder, it's a tiny bit forward from that. We're going to open up and then close. So once again, double checking your legs are still in train tracks. That's it, as you open and close. And you may notice there's a difference in how you could do this. So you could open and close without involving the shoulder blades at all, or you could open and squeeze the shoulder blades and close. But whatever you're doing, you're trying to keep the elbows tucked in. That's it. And you may notice one side, one hand goes back further than the other. Just pay attention to it. You could maybe do some more on one side that maybe needs a bit more mobilizing. The most important thing is that you keep those fingers in your peripheral vision. So a lot of us have hypermobility here. That's it. And you're not going to your fullest range of movement. You're just enjoying the chance to move and wake up those muscles. So this time we're going to open and press, like you're pressing logs above your head, and then return. And you could include a breath. You could breathe in as you push up and breathe out as you lower. You could even do it the other way. You could breathe in to prepare, breathe out to push up. That's it. And breathe in to lower. That's it. Well done. One more. And remember, if you're getting tired at any point, please feel free to rest. Okay, we're going to continue with more arms. So we're going to bring the arms out here, still keeping the shoulders relaxed away from your ears. And we're going to bring the hands forward, up, back and down. So very small circles. That's it. And these arms don't need to be all the way up. If you need to be, take it easier, feel free to do here. So you've got your palms upwards as you're gently circling. Well done. And then turn the palms downwards and circle the other way. So forward, down, up. That's it. Forward, down, back and up. Well done. Now this really makes my arms feel warm, so yours might be feeling it too. Do rest whenever you need to. And then release. Okay, you might at this point want to do some shoulder rolls, especially if you've brought some tension into your neck and shoulders. Okay, so now hold on to the chair and we're going to draw one arm up, lifting it tall, lifting your body tall, and then bring it over. Now, if it's uncomfortable for you to bring your arm to this height, feel free to bring it across your chest and then return. Let's go the other side. So the across the chest version will look like this, sitting tall and reaching over. That's it. So you're drawing up and over, breathing into your side and exhale. And again here, breathing in, over. And this might be feeling really good if you've not been moving much lately. Let's do final one. Well done. Okay, so placing your hands on the thighs, we're then going to rotate the spine. So we're going to draw one hand back and one hand forward, looking over the shoulder, but making sure your chin doesn't go beyond that shoulder, and then return and then the other way. So you're still thinking nice tall thoughts as you do this. That's it. Well done. And then to extend it a bit further, you could bring your hands into prayer. So you're rotating like this. Or you could bring your hands behind your head, placing one hand in the other. Just make sure you're not pushing your head forward. Your neck is still long and tall as you rotate. Breathing in and exhale. That's it. Breathing in and exhale. And once again, you could explore breathing out, breathing in, breathing out, and in. That's it. Okay, so placing your hands on your thighs, once again, I want you to imagine that your back is up against a wall now, and you're going to peel away from the wall, starting with your head, and then your shoulders, and the middle of your back, and the lower back, and that might feel like a nice stretch for you. And from here, use your hands to push your spine so it's nice and straight. So lengthen as though thread is pulling you taller here, and then come back up again. So we're peeling gently down. That's it. And then we're going to lengthen, lengthen, lengthen. And then return. And again, peeling gently down. And lengthen, lengthen, lengthen. And return. And one more. Peeling. Feel that nice stretch all the way down your spine. And lengthen. And come up. And then we're going to bring the fingertips together in front. Your shoulders are still down. And we're going to squeeze those shoulder blades together and then return. So we're waking up the muscles in the thoracic region and return. And there is another option to do this where you're creating a diamond shape and you're squeezing back and down. Breathing in, exhale. Okay, and then we're going to finish the class with some gentle roll downs, remembering that if you need to look after your spine, if you've got any issues like osteoarthritis in your spine or ruptured discs, you could keep your hands here as you roll down, so you're not loading too much and you're not going to go too far down, okay? Otherwise, we're going to do this version where we breathe in and exhale, press the hands down past your chest. That's it. And then we're going to open up the chest, breathing in. And exhale, peel your way down nice and gently, remembering to put your hands on your thighs if you need to. Going to the point that feels good for you, letting everything dangle just for a moment, breathing in. Exhale, pull the belly button back as you roll your way back up again. So we're going to go again, breathing in, reaching up. And exhale. Open up the chest as you breathe in again. And exhale, peel your way down. And roll your way back up, lifting up your belly button. So your shoulders and your head come up last. Final one, breathing in. Exhale. That's it. Open up the chest, breathing in. And exhale, peel your way down. At the bottom, taking a breath in. Exhale, roll your way back up. And we're going to do one more, just bringing the arms up. Bringing them down, pressing the hands down past your chest, holding them in front of your sternum. That's it. And bringing gratitude to your bodies and to all your muscles for gently waking up. Well done, everybody. I will see you soon.